Hello, World Tank Blitzers. It's Littlefinger. It's Friday. It's August 18th, and that means time for another store review. And I think it's been over a month. Yeah, I'm not dead. I just haven't been playing Blitz that much. Been busy. I've gotten into mountain biking and kind of really enjoying that. So, getting outside and having fun and not stuck behind a tablet playing a pixelated tank game. And man, I've played some games this week. Whew. I don't know. It's made me a little bit stupider, I think, some of the teams here on the NA server. But anyway, wanted to go over the things in the garage here. We'll start with the Retropia event, which was a 90-day event. We're down to 10 days left. You know, you can work your way up getting these kit coins and get yourself a quote-unquote free tank. As you know, nothing in this game is free. But nonetheless, you can see I'm almost all the way up to the top of the tier 8 tank. Don't think we'll even try to get the regressor here. Just there's no way I'm getting all the way up to the needed 45,000 kit coins to complete this out. And I don't really want a tank with not the top equipment on it. We've got a quick event for 25 wins. Really all you need to focus on those 12 wins to get those kit coins. And we've got Luxury Lounge. So the way this works, we've seen it before, getting diamonds for getting mastery badges in games and for cashing in current resources that you own. You can see the resources that you own down here below. And as you can see, you're gonna get gold for victories up to 100 of those. So you're gonna need diamonds and gold in order to buy the things on the right. On the left is what you can cash in or sell in order to get more diamonds. So take a good inventory of what you've got. Certainly do not sell any gold in order to cash in on this event. I do not recommend that. If you're still buying tanks and need silver, then do not sell your silver. You know, the free XP is great in order to skip all of the equipment and the grind of getting the equipment, so don't cash that in either. But if you're in a situation like me that has just about every single tank in the game, you know, these are kind of expendable to me. So I will not cash in gold because I'll use that to buy premium tanks, but I would cash in some of the other things. So like these boosters down here, I can get 450 for selling this. So I'll show you how this works. We'll sell it. We could scale it up and get way more if we want to. I'm just going to do 5 for right now. We exchange it. We get the 450 diamonds. And then we can come over onto the right side and purchase things. And see, we're at 3,815. So if we wanted to, we could get this tank, which I already own. It's a nice tier 6, super accurate gun. A little bit slow in terms of it being a medium tank, but it does have decent armor. And it's a really good tank for a tier 6. Certainly something that, you know, if you want to grind out this event, I would certainly recommend that you get. Deluxe limited edition container, you know, does have a chance of getting a tank in it and a pretty low chance of getting the gold here. 0.19% chance of getting the tank. We'll call that just about near 0, and this looks like about 5% on the gold. So not a high draw there from that container. Not a really understanding of why we're doing these things here, the background. So some of the things that I would look at. All right. Is this really a 10x booster? You get 5 of them? Let me just, that's okay. That's just blown my mind, guys. Or is it a 5x booster and you get 10 of them? Let's find out. Get 10 of the boosters at 5x. Okay, there we go. So, anyway, that was kind of weird. That just threw me the way they've got this worded. The attachment here is kind of cool. Soul conductor. But again, it's just an attachment. Doesn't really help you out in game. Just looks cool. And it's kind of expensive too at 4,500. This is a camo for the tank. One of the ones that I would focus on, I would definitely cash in and get anything related to gold. Potentially anything related to the cooldown boosters here if you want, because these are certainly things that you can use in the store as we get there. Summer Blitz Cup is just going to show you the events, the online events that are going on right now, and of course the battle pass. Not going to even talk about it. But anyway, so let's jump into the store, and right off the face we get hit here with Caro 45T containers. Let's see what the drop chance, 5% drop chance of getting the tank, 7,500 gold if you already have it and you draw it twice. Chances of that are near next to impossible. Does look like you get about 50% chance of drawing some gold out of this as well, though. But this is a really steep price here to pay for a very low chance of getting a tank. So my recommendation would be just keep waiting. This tank will be in stores for purchase in the future. You know, over here you are getting some K coins, so the amount of containers you get is not as great. What I've noticed here is anything that's got K coins, you're just not getting as good as an exchange rate that you normally would. This max value here, just want to talk about it real quickly because I think a lot of people are probably intrigued by it. It does come with a mystery certificate. We've talked about this many times on channel. Guaranteed to get a tank. As you can see, we've got a few tier 10s here. It quickly goes down to the tier 9s. The tier 8s is a fairly lengthy list here, but then we get down to the 7s and 6s. And when we look at the list here, the 7s and 6s contain about 50% of your drop chance. So the other downside to that is that you're only getting silver in return if you drop a tank that you already own. So to me, that's the biggest negative. And then not being able to really select what tank you get. They've added in these concealment containers, the kit coins that we talked about, 2 attachments, and 2,500 gold. This brings it to about 208 gold per dollar here. So not the greatest deal in the world. So just keep all of that in mind if you're thinking about the mystery certificate and guaranteeing yourself a tank. And talking about the premium pass, you can see it's $8. You can unlock all of the weeks. If you want to skip 20 levels, you can pay an extra, whatever it is, $16, $15 there. But one of the interesting things that we're seeing is the Enforcer tank was a previously Battle Pass tank for $8. This is actually a pretty fun little tank to play. I've really enjoyed it. I've done really well in it, and having a hard time finding that ace mastery in it. I think the bar is quite high because the tank does play really well. So as far as individual offers go, just wanted to talk briefly about this best price here, because this works out to be about 580 gold per dollar. So you're automatically getting 1,500 up front, and then you get 15 black boxes. And the way black boxes work is the first black box gets you 400 gold at a minimum. Well, I take that back. Sorry about this, guys. So I miscalculated here. You can get anywhere between 100 and 400. I did my math based on guaranteeing you get 400 here. So it's not going to be 580 because you're going to drop 100, 200, or 300 more times, obviously, than you drop the 400. But you do have a chance to get a black box 2 or a black box 3. And then every black box that you move up, as you can see, the amount of gold in here increases. So this goes from 300 to 900. And so what I did was I just saw the black box 1 says 400. But anyway, so it's a little bit of gambling. You're probably not going to be at 500 gold per dollar, though, at the end of the day, unless you get really lucky on those black boxes. So, all right. Well, let's just talk about the tanks. And like I said, not been, overly excited about the garage and the tanks that are in here. So this Iron Union here, we've got a tier 2 and a tier 3 tank for $5. In the past, what we've seen is you could cash these in and get a decent amount of gold in return, but these gold numbers are not great. So you're only looking at about 200 gold per dollar if you're to cash that in. You are going to get a few of those kit coins. To me, that's just not worth it. The whole appeal to this kind of bundle here, be able to play these tanks, sell them for gold, or keep them if you like them. The AMX 31 prototype here. I'm kind of astounded. 12,500 for a tier 9 tank that doesn't have kit coins in it. This is really steep. I would not pay this much money for this tank. I'd stay away from that. The Object 907, again here, no kit coins. 22,500. Yes, this is a really nice tier 10 medium tank. Way more accuracy than most of the Soviet tanks. It's got great mobility. And I really like it. It's one of my favorite tier 10 medium tanks. But to get it for 20 or 22,000 gold still seems extremely high. I really want to see that at 17,500. Progetto and Emil, I love this bundle. However, 15,500 means you're spending about, nearly 8,000 each on these tanks, and we've seen the Progetto for free. Progetto, with undoubtedly one of the best tier 8 medium tanks with its active auto reloader. The gun sings, the mobility is great. One of the best tanks out there at tier 8, to be honest. And in my books, a must own. The Emil 1951, not so much. And I've said this before on channel. Don't get too caught up on the tech tree Emil, which is much slower, has a lot more armor. This tank has way more mobility, has the 3-shot auto loader. So you really have to keep in mind that you don't have that armor to rely on as much as you do on the tech tree tank, but still a fun tank to play. E34-3 and the IS-2, so you've got a tier 7 heavy and the tier 8 medium tank. The T-34-3 I like because it's got this big gun on it. Let's see here, 400 average damage on it, 500 on the HE, but it is very close to the tech tree tanks and not necessarily worth investing in this tank in order to get the credit coefficient. But 7,000 for this is not a bad price. The IS-2 is a faster heavy tank. It's got a kind of a big gun with not so great aim time and dispersion on it, but I really enjoy it. You can play this quite close front line and therefore take out some of that dispersion, and I enjoy the tank. So not a bad little deal there, but just do keep in mind T-34-3, you might be a little bit disappointed going, this is exactly like a tech tree tank, and not feel like you've got your gold worth out of it. Let's see, the love here with the kit coins here, $15. I haven't even really looked, guys. $15 times, I don't know what we're doing here, 750 is like 11,000 gold is pretty high. You are getting 30 days of premium time. The 25 boosters are specifically for this tank, so that's a little bit of a drawdown. You are getting this, I don't know if it's neat or not. The camo on it, camos have just gotten out of control in this game. I wish there was something you could, just show the realistic camos and not these outlandish camos. I mean, I know you can turn camos off, but that kind of defeats the purpose. 5,500. I would certainly buy that over the $15. I think that's not a bad deal there. Got a triple threat here. $18 for it. Did it have? Yeah, 7,500 here would be what I would purchase if I was looking to get these tanks. E26 here. Kind of a pretty noob-friendly tank. It's got some spaced armor in the front. It's pretty slow for a medium tank. The pen is not the greatest on it, and you'll notice when you come up against experienced players because they'll know how to pen this tank. Newer novice players will not know how to pen this tank just because of the spaced armor around it. So I'm not a big fan of it just because of its lack of speed and for a medium tank. T-34 tank, wonderful hold down. Learn how to play hold down in these American tanks here. As you can see, it's got a really strong turret in it. So just hide the rest of the tank behind a hill. Use the tank's gun depression, 10 degrees of gun depression to max out. And, 5.9, 2.85 on the dispersion. This gun will troll you a little bit too, but it does a lot of damage. And then the KV5, this thing has just got some really troll armor on it. With all of these rounded edges, premium rounds will pen it fairly easily. But I enjoy this tank, and I think it gets a little bit of a bad rap on the battlefield. And for the price, this is really not a bad deal. So I would consider this if you've not had a lot of premium tanks and you're looking to get some different flavor of tanks. And that gets us into our camos and our gold. So with that, guys, sorry the store is not that great. Sorry I've not been around as much. But alas, another store review in the books. And with that, have fun out there. Stay safe, get educated, not fingered. Littlefinger out.